you're hurting yourself. You're doing a reverse to your body because you're starving your body, and it's not enough. Especially if you are working out, and if you're not working out, it's really, just like, okay, well, you're not feeding us. And the worst thing people can do is when they do work out, thinking one meal a day will solve their issues, and it's actually just you're storing extra fat. It's like sometimes you can just balloon or stay where you are.
Awesome, everybody. Welcome back to the CVMK show. I'm your host, Cody Kelly, because it is what it is. Connect with your boy. Look, we have an amazing show. I have an amazing talent that's really have just taken over and is a rising star in the fitness industry. We're here. We want to ask her questions, pick her brain, and really understand what makes her go. Why'd she get into this? So the CVMK family, y'all help me welcome Karessa. Karessa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Very hot right now. So I'm sweating in the live. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here and get started. Yeah, I'm here.
Well,
doing great. How are you?
Well, look, we appreciate you being here. I'm doing super well. I understand. I always say ComEd and People's Gas love me because I have to keep the air conditioning on polar Antarctica. Yeah. So but it's definitely a scorch out there. But look, I want to get into it before we hit the line of questions. Just for those who may not be familiar with you, you can just give a brief introduction of yourself, and then I'll hit the line of questions.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Karessa Hinkle. I'm about to say my day job. But yeah, I am actually a customer success manager, and I work in HR tech. But in my free time and spare time, I love to do fitness. I love to work out. I actually do bodybuilding. I had my first competition in November. I had another competition in April of this past, literally a couple of months ago. Got second place in my first show and got first place in my second show. So very proud of that. And I always love to stay fit and just kind of stay positive and move forward toward pushing people with health goals and friends and family and anyone that I work with. I mean, I just love it. So if I can help encourage others to be inspired to get healthy, I think that'd be a great opportunity to just kind of spread that love and light around the world. So, yeah.
I like it. Look, we got a lot of questions that I definitely want to get into. The first and second, how'd you prep for it? What was the mindset getting into it? Why'd you get into it? But just a quick word from our sponsor.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
www.cvmkglobal.store. I got one of the products with me. This is one I use when it's time to recover. Super Thick Creatine. Get it today. www.cvmkglobal.store. So we talk about getting into it. I think why, is the utmost essential question. I think everybody has a different why, For you, I mean, you already had your professional career going, and then over the last year or so, you've got into competition. Like, that's another phase of fitness. What really motivated you to go into that avenue?
Yeah, so I've been working out since college. I actually did do a little bit of track and field in high school. I'm not gonna lie, I sucked really bad. Sure. I did some, but freshman year of second semester in college, I just wanted to really change my life. I was always like a little kid, never really super chubby, but I just had weight and I really wanted to look good in college, feel good. So I worked out. I've always worked out. And then, my mom was she was really good at swimming. So I thought about, let me just make sure I get healthy and work out. Fast forward, couple of years later, really during the pandemic, there wasn't much free time to do anything. So I'm like, hey, let me just spend more time being more outdoorsy, doing bike rides. And I actually was in a relationship, and it really didn't work out the best way. So we actually ended up parting ways at the beginning of, I think, the beginning of last year. And, I was at the gym. And for years, people will reach out to me and be like, you can do more than that. You just kind of messing around here. I feel like you have potential to push yourself beyond what you're currently doing. Never really wanted to listen to them. But after the breakup, I actually got approached by my coach and trainer now, two ladies who were my coaches and my trainer. And it kind of came to me collectively as a group. I'm like, hey, we've been watching you for a while. We know that you can go better than this and lift heavier. I was like, I'm not sure, this is going to be probably a lot of money, costumes, you got to be on stage, hair, makeup, glam, be on stage in a bikini. So I'm like, whoa, this is a lot, but I don't know, something just clicked. I'm like, you know what? Why not? I have nothing else to do. I'm single. I'm living my life. I'm working. I got a good career. I got my own apartment. Why not? So I pushed forward after that, and I just really wanted to dedicate this period of my life to changing, transforming who I am, and being a better person for that. And the goals and the things that I accomplished, the self-love that I grew from that moment of being on stage. Because again, my first show, I wasn't really taking it serious. Certainly didn't expect to get second place amongst like 80 women, in my particular division, it was wellness. So very, very proud of that. I loved it. I think it was just awesome. And, just once you get hungry for second place, I'm like, I might as well go for first. So again, I just wanted to, I'm very competitive by nature. I work with a lot of brothers, have a lot of boy cousins. So I'm like, just keep pushing. I don't want to give up on myself in any capacity. And I love what it does for me, not just, of course, physically, but mentally, emotionally. It kind of prepares you, like, for war in your head, to always stay ready, always get ready, and just be, strategically strong in how you want to move in your life and the success you want to have. So that's the reason why I keep going. That's the reason why I kind of joined as well.
You brought up something that I think that was really interesting. You talked about this self-love. And I think, confidence to do that, to make that switch, right? I think there's one aspect of it to say I need to improve, I need to take better care of my health. But I think competition to shift from that, like I can stand on stage, I can do this, I can be in this environment and prosper. What allowed you to start doing the internal work so that you could have that type of confidence? I mean, more than just the training, but really, like I'm okay with me.
Maybe the 2-hour workouts. You're in the gym for 2 hours, especially in the beginning, because I had to lose the fat. It wasn't like I said, I was only 160. I was thick. I was never really fat or chubby, but but to get my body where my coach needed me to get, she had to kind of bring me down to bring me up, if that makes sense. And so I had to lose the fat in order to build the muscle. And so for most bodybuilders, it takes about 6 months to a year to build that consistency in your body. And while I'm in the process of, working out, I'm like, okay, just working out. I'm, listening to self-help. And I'm also realizing the more confidence I got in my body, the changes I was noticing. And also because I'm in my head. I mean, I had my training for the first hour, but the second hour, I had to do an hour of cardio for 6 days a week for 2 months straight, so during that time, you're just kind of on the treadmill. Your mind can wander. You might want to watch a movie, or listen to like some, audio tapes and stuff like that about positivity. So I'm just like listening, and it's just going through your head like, oh, this is what's important. This is what helping me to change and manifest and what I envision for my life, what I envision for my goals. So, that time of just kind of being alone, it was kind of like repairing me, because I mentioned earlier, and I went through a really, really bad breakup. So I really needed that time to kind of center myself, love myself, and focus on me. And that was what the competition brought me more than anything, besides, of course, the overall look and the change in who I was. But really, it was the ability to look inside of myself and say I deserve better, and I know I have better, and I will get better, and I am better. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Just honestly, just having that alone solitude was good. I feel like every time I was lifting weight, I was repairing muscles, and I was also repairing like my heart. I was repairing my soul. I was repairing everything that kind of broke me down, because I was kind of also building myself up. I was literally being broken down, physically, mentally, emotionally, to be built up again. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. When we talk about the blockades, is that a word? Yeah, it is a word. So we talk about the physical obstacles that I think human beings deal with. And every human being is not gonna compete. I wouldn't say that that's the necessarily path for everyone, but even getting into fitness, like there's just something that's even beyond the economics that stops people from really, to me, subscribing to something that really is going to help them. What would you kind of say to that person that is, struggling to even be consistent getting into the gym?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Even me, I have my time and days, but once I get into it, it's hard to stop. So I would say it just comes down to consistency. What do you want, and how bad do you want it? If you really want to see change, you have to be consistent. You have to keep pushing for it. And it really just takes your own inner work. I do personal training on the side for my day job. And I have a client today. She finally told me, I know you've been telling me for months, you could, because it's one thing. If one side of bodybuilding is being in the gym, right? It's almost easy. It gets to the point where it's like, okay, I can do 2 hours, no problem. What really comes down to it is the mental aspect, and any bodybuilder will tell you this, is the eating. It's such a very, very strict, regimented diet, and how you have to eat, how much water you have to consume, and just abiding by those rules every single day. Not to say you don't have your moments where you fall off, but it's a lot of consistency, and it's a lot of upkeep to do the same thing, and unknowing the guarantee at the end. And I think that's what people really struggle with, because their no is going to come before their yes, and they are automatically assuming that this is not going to work. I don't have time. But honestly, it's the little things that add up in any capacity. So I say take it day by day, and just, hey, this is what I'm doing today, and then tomorrow this is what I'm doing tomorrow, and then if it happens again, just keep trying. But again, you have to really want to push beyond your mental capacity, and trust that you can make it beyond what you're currently seeing in front of you, because it takes that sometimes. It takes sometimes having a mirror to be like, oh wow, I don't like that, let me change it, and then pushing to get that change.
We talk about the diet. So, and I've heard this, like how diet is absolutely everything. Like it's more as important as the workout itself.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, Krispy Kremes, Harold's, they're not a part of the diet, right? Not at all. What does that diet look like? Tell us the secret. What is that diet?
A lot of fish. Well, for me in particular, what my division, bikini may be a little bit more stricter than this, but in my division, I can have carbs. I can have like maybe half a cup of rice, sweet potatoes, fish, chicken, mostly just protein, no dairy at all. Well, and I'm lactose intolerant, so that wasn't too hard for me. But no dairy, very little sugar, very little carbs, a lot of just high protein and fats, and a lot of water. So that's like typical day, maybe oatmeal and some eggs in the morning, maybe chicken sausage if that's on your meal plan. And then lunch, you're having like fish, veggies, potatoes or something like that, or rice. And then dinner's like the same thing, or you switch up with like some chicken breast or something like that. And that's pretty much it. Maybe a snack is a rice cake, an apple, or some fruit. That's really it. Again, everyone's different. You might be able to kind of switch it up depending on your macros for your body, but that's pretty much the daily. And you kind of have to be content with that. Or, I don't know, spice it up with extra seasoning or something like that. But be careful of the sodium and the salt.
I was with you till you said the rice cake, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know.
It starts to be good after a while. At any point, you start taking what you can for a snack after a while. Yeah.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that. So, we talk about, shifting the narrative. It seems like two things are true, and it's weird to say this. You have one section of individuals that just, fitness to them is not non-starter, right?
Yeah.
And obviously we're talking about those that, you know, financially, physically can, but they just won't get there. And then you have another section that has made, and maybe this is why, fitness, about the success of it, the monetization of it, and I'm not against it, I'm obviously for it, but maybe to some it might be overbearing or overshadowing. How does one find their group? Like when they come and like, I'm looking for my group. Like I might not see the Karessas of the world, and I need to see somebody like me. How do they find their group in that world?
I think, you know, if you have someone, sometimes it's good to go places with a friend if you can. I mean, if you can't go by yourself, I say go with a friend. Find someone who's on that journey with you, or maybe is already on that journey and picks you up along the way and say, hey, I got you. Let's carry this load together, because it can be very expensive, because it's the lifestyle you're choosing to obtain and uphold. But any lifestyle you choose is going to be expensive if it's something you really like. Hell, I mean, heck, if food is really important to you and you want to go to McDonald's every day, you're going to pay for McDonald's every day, and you're not going to think that's expensive, even though $2 may add up. $5, $10 will add up eventually over time. Same thing when it comes to video games, maybe people who like to travel, visit concerts. Everything costs to what makes you happy. And if this makes you happy, you're going to spend the money no matter what, because this is something that you're okay with making that effort to do. So I think it's just, you know, maybe as people say, choose your poison, or choose what you want to put your money on, and no complaints, because it can be overwhelming. But honestly, once you get in there, you find your groove, you will find so many more supporters than naysayers. And I find in my experience, the naysayers are people who kind of have something wrong with them internally, and they don't know how to express their happiness for you. So you just kind of have to leave them there. There's no one who's going to push for you harder than yourself.
That's true, and I think that's absolutely correct. It's like if there's an internal drive that has to be consistent with whatever aim, right? Or else, like, it just won't make sense, because it's going to be you that's doing the work anyway. And if you're not, you know, into it, if you're not happy doing it, forget what everybody else says. It has to first start with you, and that's going to open up a whole new kind of line of questioning. Quick word from my sponsors. Hey, what's up? It's CVMK33. Look, I want you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, subscribe here, everywhere, so you can get the latest and greatest of this podcast content. Stay tuned. Y'all subscribe, YouTube, CVMK _global, Instagram, it is what it is _show, and always smash the like, share, notification bell to stay up to date with all latest and greatest content. So, you know, we talk about pushing yourself, right? And I really think it's more of a self mission, and then the self mission becomes selfless, because you start taking the tools that you've acquired to really help others, right? So it's like you first found purpose through passion. Purpose allows now the servitude for others. In this process, it's easy to find yourself by yourself. And what I mean by that is, you know, like everybody, I feel like stops. Inconsistency, you brought it up many times. Consistency is key. And you would find out, and nobody's perfect. I mean, you know, missing it, I think, is a part of human nature, not being perfect, right? But there's a difference between not being perfect and being inconsistent. Those are like two different extremes, right? But consistency is the glue. Why, or what did you think is the biggest hindrance, as you say, to pick your poison? If you know that this gets you that, what is the biggest challenge to this consistency?
I think comparing yourself to others and thinking you can turn and be like someone else overnight. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, I read this quote once in college, or I think it was a senior in high school, and it said that my only competition was the woman I was yesterday. And I really took that to heart. You know, I myself very rarely feel, how to say, like jealous or
Sure.
some type of way about other people, women, in particular, let's just say women,
Sure.
because I've always been in my own head to be competitive with myself. Because in my mind, I want to be better than what I was before, or how can I achieve beyond that? And I'm always in my head anyway. I find that when I start comparing myself to others, which is rare, but when I do, as we all do in life,
Yeah.
it slows me down. It makes me overthink. It makes me feel like I can't get there. I can't accomplish that. And then, in my opinion, it kind of throws me off balance. And then I can't function anymore. I can't be consistent. I can't show up the way I need to for myself. So if I can't do that for myself, then I can't be around people like that, or I can't see those things, because then I need to step away. And I think that
Mm.
may be one of the biggest things for men and women. I think, honestly, just
Yeah.
comparing themselves. And in my opinion, if I'm not put in a position to feel inferior, then I don't feel it. I'm kind of sometimes in my own little bubble. So sometimes being blissfully oblivious helps. Because it kind of protects you a little bit, when you are so in
Yeah.
your mode. And most bodybuilders tend to be that way. I'm not saying we don't look at others and compare
Yeah.
ourselves when we're on stage, but when you are bodybuilding and you have a show coming up, you zone in so much into your internal self. It's crazy. I'm not. I don't know if it's for everybody, but I know for me, when I have a show, the first one, like I said, I kind of was like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. The second one, because I knew what to expect, I knew what to do. I had no other option but to dial in and channel my own strength, my own, best friend, my own accomplishments in my head to make this thing happen. I wanted to get to the finish line. I got to push through like no one else can. I'm the only one. I don't even want to see the other competition, because I know what I got to work on. Now, if I see them, but I'm not going to use that as my motivating factor to make sure I am good. I want to make sure I'm good, and that's all that matters. So I think that's really important to kind of zone in. And most athletes will tell you that too. Like, I think they kind of all zone in at one point and just kind of like, hey, there's only so many times you can look at the other person, and you
Sure.
so busy worried about them, you can't, like basketball. I'm so worried about you making your shot, I can't make mine. So I'm like, after a while, you kind of just focus on yourself. So I think that's what's really important. Just zone in and focus on you.
I like that. Just put on the blinders and really going after the goal. I think self or comparative analysis is dangerous, and we all fall subject to it, right? Like, we're human. We see others, you'd be like, man, I wish, my arms look like that or whatever, and it's easy to say, because they have it and I don't, let me stop. Right. I think it's like, for whatever reason, instead of saying like, let me work harder, it's like, let me stop. Right. Like it goes into the next level phase. And I do think ultimately the focus really being clear-headed about one's goal and one's aim is going to be the driving force. So what is all of this? Like you said, you got into it, you ran, track in college, you went through the experience of the breakup, you got into this world that you've excelled. First competition, you took second place. The last competition back in April, you're not first. And I'm sure there's higher aims, because now you're like, look, if I can be this and do that, what else can I do? As you are progressing, what is next for you? Like, what is fitness meaning for you?
I've really been thinking about this. I would love to definitely go pro, get my pro card in the bodybuilding world. And then from there, I don't know. I think I want to kind of just expand my reach. I love being a motivational person who can speak. I love talking to people. I love enhancing my knowledge with others, and just really being a good storyteller. So if I can storytell my love of passion and fitness, health, responsibility, and protection towards my people in my community, the Black and Brown community, I will, or anyone for that matter, I would love to expand that knowledge and take it to the next level. So that's what I've been trying to do for the next couple of months. That's my goal, just to kind of, hone in on my skill set, my fitness competitions, who I'm personally training, and take my goals and expand it, more with my, like, maybe make TikTok, my social media and everything like that, and just kind of push it that way. That's my goal. I want to hopefully be on a global stage, expanding my outreach and helping people realize that if you focus in on you, nothing else matters because you've acquired the strength in you to be better than what you thought you were before.
I like it. I'll be back with the last few rounds of my questions. Quick word from our sponsors.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
All right, y'all, www.cbmkglobal.store. Get it today. Superpower Warrior, those transform saucy, all of it at www.cbmkglobal.store. So, we talked about the evolution of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And how you've gotten to this point and kind of what's the next aim, the thing that you've really kind of been focusing on and say, like, this would really be a nice avenue for me to go down. For the avid person out there that say, hey, look, Karessa, I did not work out during the winter. I haven't subscribed to any good diet, but it's the summertime and I heard about this green tea diet and I need to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks. I need you to walk that person through right now. I said, for the rest of the summer, give them some advice that they can follow so they can start on the right path.
Well, I'm not sure if you can do 30 pounds in 2 weeks. You might have to go to the doctor. That's a little unheard of and probably unhealthy. And I said be careful of yo-yo diets. Those are really bad for you because they just boomerang you right back to what you was before. All I would say is just drink a lot of water. Let's say you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Definitely eat. I feel like a lot of people tend to stick to one meal a day, and that's really bad when they're trying to lose weight. If anything, you're storing fat in your body, and you're not intermediate fasting the way you think you're supposed to. Intermediate fasting is when you start eating past a certain time at night, right? Or you just want to fast 24 hours and you're not eating anything. But you're going to do intermediate fasting. Let's say you stop eating at 8 o'clock and then you wait again until, maybe 8 or 12 o'clock the next day or something like that. That's intermediate fasting. So if you're trying to lose weight at a certain time, try not to eat past 8. But make sure you eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner at least. Or at least 4 to 6 small meals because that'll help you lose weight because you're speeding up your metabolism. That's one of the main things that helped me to reach my goal weight in time for my show. I lost 20 pounds from my first show, and I lost it in 2 months. But again, that was an hour of cardio every day, but it was also me eating a lot, but like healthy meals. Not a lot of chicken, fried chicken, bread, all of that. I don't have any bread in my house. I don't have any snacks in my house. Probably wouldn't last anyway. But it's all just fish, veggies, apples, strawberries, and water. Again, just eat clean consistently. But you can have your tea at night or in the morning, but you don't want to cause any extra stress on your body by trying to do too much, and then you hurt yourself, or might come up with like a heart or some type of liver issue trying to drink certain things, and then you can't clean yourself out properly. So I say be cautious of that.
I like that because I have a friend who is trying to do this 1 meal a day stuff, and I'm like, bro, that's not gonna work.
You're hurting yourself. You're doing a reverse to your body because you're starving your body, and it's not enough. Especially if you are working out, and if you're not working out, it's really just like, okay, well, you're not feeding us. And the worst thing people can do is when they do work out, thinking 1 meal a day will solve their issues, and it's actually just you're storing extra fat. It's like sometimes you can just balloon or stay where you are because you're just storing fat because your body's not burning it off the right way.
Jeez.
You need to eat at least 30 minutes after your first meal. Yeah.
Y'all listen to Karessa. Don't listen to the TikTok people that are just making random stuff up. Listen to someone who's actually competing, actually doing this, actually knows what they're talking about, actually is training, has trained, has some subject matter expertise before you hurt yourself. Karessa, if they wanted to connect with you, they said, hey, look, I did what you do. You're super motivating. I want to follow you. Where can they connect with you at?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram, Recipe Bella Fits. Same thing for my TikTok. So that's ESSYBELLAFIT@gmail. Oh, sorry, I'm giving you my Gmail. That's my Gmail too, but that's my Instagram and that's my TikTok. It's all connected. But yeah, that's RESSYBELLAFIT. So that's Instagram. That is my business email too, and that's also my TikTok. I think my TikTok, yes, Rexy Bella Fit as well. So if you guys want to see my Instagram, my TikTok, I say follow me. I really like to stay empowering, encouraging to women everywhere. Like, don't give up. Today's Motivation Monday. Just trust yourself, and you come out better and stronger than what you were before. So I just say tune in to who you are before you tune into anyone else. Try not to compare yourself to others, and just block out the naysayers, especially when people are telling you you're losing too much weight. At the end of the day, you're doing what's best for you, especially if it's done healthy.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Hey, y'all, connect with Rexy Bella Fit. Connect with Karessa on all her platforms. Follow her. Tell her, hey, look, this is amazing. I dig the content and everything. And definitely listen to the experts and listen to yourself. Because people will have you second guessing yourself. I think Chance said second guessing my first mind. You start losing weight, then you get people, you done got too small, and then you're like, am I really too small? And then you think something's wrong with you because they don't want to exercise. Y'all, if you want to keep seeing amazing content, you know what you got to do. YouTube, CVMK, Instagram, CVMK_global. It is what it is _show, CVMK33. YouTube's, it's simple. CVMK is right there, the name. Hit, share, like, subscribe to notification, and you'll see amazing leaders like Karessa on this show again. Until next time, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.